Hey there, good evening. This is Valerie McDowell, your writer, editor, author, book coaching consultant, and it is Write It Out Wednesday. I know we're a little later than normal, but hey, we are here because there's lots going on everywhere. And so I'm Valerie McDowell. I'm here to help you put you back at the top of your writing list. This is the day that we set aside some time at least to make sure that we're at least thinking about those things that we said we're going to do. And I've got my challenge t-shirt on tonight because I want to talk tonight about don't run out of steam. You're almost there, okay? Don't run out of steam. You're almost there. And for those that don't know me, I help writing and time challenge clients get those ideas out of their hearts, their heads, their minds, and onto the printed page and into a published book. And in the last 30 months, going on about 31 months now, we've helped 31 people. So we're doing like a book a month, y'all. You better jump on this train. We are getting it done. And so we help people take those ideas that they've had forever, maybe sitting on a shelf, in a notebook, in a journal, and we turn them into published books. And so this is what we're doing. We're getting it done. I just love being able to help people fulfill their dreams because it actually is really what happens. That people that have talked about, well, actually, I'm getting ahead of myself. Let me jump into my topic for tonight. Don't run out of steam. You're almost there. And so just some encouragement to you because you are more than halfway there. We are in the 10th month, y'all, the 10th month of the year. That means that, oh my God, we've made it this far into 2022. And what a year it's been. It's like we never know what's going to happen from day to day. So it's like, hang on, it's like we just never know. And so even as we roll into this last quarter of the year, many of us can look at that list that we made maybe at the beginning of the year and see, where are we? What have I accomplished? And sometimes, those things could have been on your list for a long time. And for those that follow me, I know that writing is something that's been on your list for a while. And so that's what we're going to be focusing on today. But sometimes in that goal, again, our topic is about don't run out of steam, that while we're moving forward, that little distractions keep coming up. Those little voices in our head, sometimes from others, but often from ourselves, that have fear of what people will think. That's one of those things that no matter what, it's like sometimes even when you don't think that that's an issue anymore, that you've moved past it, something will happen in your life that will just say, hey, why are you concerned about what that person says? Or why are you concerned about what they're doing? It's like, so that fear of what people will think, it seems to be something that keeps coming up over and over again. So that's one of the distractions that keeps you from meeting your own goals. Another is fear of failure, which actually the other side of that is fear of success. And the fact that how can you be fearful of success? The thing is that most people are often acquainted with failing. You may have failed a class, you may have failed a test, you may have failed, in a relationship or something, but, success, not everyone knows what that feels like continuously or consistently. They may have had success on this project or with this or this other thing, but to have consistent success, and I know my coach was like, success is a system. It's like if you have good systems in place, you will be able to consistently perform in certain ways. And so sometimes we're afraid of things because we don't have things in place. We have not taken the time to put some specific systems in place so that we can guarantee that some things are going to happen because we know that's in place. It's sort of like if you pay your bills on time, like if you pay your electric bill, your water bill, there's going to be water coming out. Long as all the systems are there and in place, the lights will come on when you turn them on and the heat will come on and things like that. If you pay your car, all those kinds of things, consistency, and again, all kinds of things can happen. Sometimes the check doesn't go through or they miss the payment or there's something online, it didn't work. And somehow something doesn't work. But that's one of those things where it's like, can we go back? Can we look at what did we not do? Or what do we need to do differently? Because sometimes it's not even that you did anything wrong. You just sometimes just need to do something differently. Because we often do what we see or what we know, what we grew up with. But sometimes it's like, okay, that worked for that season of life. That worked for that period of time. Now we need a new system. And then the third thing that we might be fearing is that we won't live up to what we said we will do. And sometimes people, they don't set goals. They won't set a big goal. They won't even set a goal because they're like, what if I fail? What if I don't do it? I remember the last time I told all these people I was going to do something. Okay, then don't tell everybody. Just tell the people who maybe you might need some support from or help to get it done. But outside of that, you stay focused. It's like, if you're on a weight loss journey or you're trying to, get your credit straight, the world doesn't need to know that. Let them see the results. That will be proof enough. You don't have to make announcements about things you're doing all the time. It's just like, get it done. And so, but the key is, that there's always going to be distractions. It's going to be like something from your job, your family, your kids. Something is always going to come up, your house, all kinds of things, your car, but you have to keep going. And the key is to push all of these things, these distractions or imaginations, as they can be called, into the back of your mind, because as long as they stay in the forefront, that's where your focus will be, because you always focus on what's in front of you, And so are you putting in front of you? It's like, if you're allowing those other things to stay in the front of your mind and in front of your thinking, and that's where your body, your mind, your energy is going to go towards, but the key to eliminating distractions and putting them at the back of your mind is to start the thing you said you're going to do. Okay. Because before you know it, once you get started, you're like, oh my God, I know one of the things I do is set a timer, half an hour or hour increments to just focus on that thing I'm doing. And next thing you know, I've written like 1,000 words or, 2 or 3 pages or whatever, but it's like, I see progress, and I know that that's one of those tools that they teach you when it comes to, cleaning your house, set 15-minute increments. What can you clean in 15 minutes? You clean the sink, you clean the toilet, you can wash some dishes, you can put a load of laundry in. Those are things you can do in 15 minutes that at least takes something off your list. So that doesn't become a distraction in your mind, like, oh my God, I got to do laundry, got to do this. Now, you might need a little bit more time to go grocery shopping, but what you can do in those 15 minutes is make a list. At least write down what you're going to get, and that'll save you time from, and I know some people, all the aisles are fun to go in. But if you are trying to accomplish things just rolling through, and with the prices these days, that may not be something you're trying to do anyway. So there's a little tip for you. But the thing is, you have to get started, and also, because once you get started, again, you can lose steam. Like, you're like, oh my God, I wrote all this. Phew, I'm tired. It's like, or you run out of ideas, or you don't know the way forward, and my outline will fix that, just note to self, outline. That's something we focus on. But again, knowing that you can keep going, because life's going to get cloudy. Things are going to come up again. And so you have to keep going forward. And one of the things that I like to think about is, as I'm moving forward with my goals, like, I don't want to disappoint myself. It's like, I said to myself, girl, this is what we're going to do. I've set some goals. I've made some plans. I've done some things. I've put some money towards some things, or I put some time or energy or resources. And it's like, I don't want to disappoint myself. I don't want to be like, well, what'd you do with that money? Or what'd you do with that time? Or what happened there? I don't want to have to check myself and be like, what you do? Because sometimes we do. But we also want to take time to not just be hard on yourself from that perspective, but to be like, hey, did I accomplish the thing I said I was going to do? And if I didn't, why not? What happened? Was it a goal I wasn't ready for? Sometimes we aren't ready for the things that we say we want. For all the people that say they want to be married and they get married, it's like, this is not what I thought it was. Or kids like, oh my God, oh, babies. And then you get one. Wow, they just don't go to sleep when you want them to. Wow, how many diapers a day do you go through? Oh, formula costs how much? Yeah. And I'm saying this from a new grandparent perspective, that it's just like, yeah, I've been there, done that. I'm on the second ring, I'm on the outer ring of that. I don't have to be there all day and night, but the thing is, it's a blessing, but it's work, and it's also something that you have to put energy. You have to let go of some other things, because this is going to take up your time now, or at least getting to that place is going to take some time, some focus, some intentionality in order for you to get there. So, and another thing that I like to add, the second thing is that you have to allow yourself to feel uncomfortable. Okay. So many times you're like, oh my God, I'm not doing that. Oh, they're making me so uncomfortable. That's how you learn. That's how you learn. That's how you grow. That's how you move forward, because not knowing all the answers sometimes, while still moving forward, it's like you're not, you're not going to know all the answers. I'll put it that way. It's like, I was going to say something else, like, you're not going to know all the answers all the time. You may know some things, you may know a lot of things about a lot of different things, but you're not going to know everything about everything all the time. So be willing to ask. connect yourself with people who are further than you are, ahead of you, higher than you, who know more than you, who can help you, who can steer you in a direction that you don't know. Because that's the only way that you're going to grow and sustain the thing that you want to do, to move forward, to get some feedback. And criticism is not necessarily a bad thing. It's just like, can I, with a critical eye, look at what you've done, said, written, built, whatever. It's like, let another set of eyes who is for you. Okay. People who can help steer you in the right direction are going to tell you the truth, if you allow them. And then you have to receive it as a good thing, because sometimes you're like, like for all the people that watch those cooking shows and stuff, and they're like, it seems like you put salt instead of sugar there because I can't taste anymore. It's too salty. It's like, that's good criticism. Like, oh yeah, a cup of sugar versus a cup of salt is a big difference, and so being able to receive that kind of information is good in helping you move forward and getting to your goals, because we don't want you to run out of steam. These are things that can help you lose steam or cause you to lose steam, and we don't want that to happen. So we've done number 3, get started. I mean, we're on number 3, but number 1 was get started. Number 2, allow yourself to feel uncomfortable. Number 3 is remembering your why. Okay, remember your why to push you into action, because the thing is, there's a reason that you chose that goal. There's a reason you want to write that book, or run a marathon, start a business, get your body together, whatever it is, you have a why, but it's personal. Okay. I don't know it. You may say it, but sometimes you have a personal goal, like, no, this is what I want to do. And sometimes you need to keep that to yourself. Some things you can share if you need help, like I said, support and getting there. Like, this is what I want to accomplish by doing these things. How can you help me get there? If you want, say, a TEDx talk, do you know anyone who's done one? Do you know people who write, speeches? Have you ever practiced, let somebody listen to you tell a story? Because really it's about stories that engage people, making the world better, by stories. And so, if that's a goal of yours, watch TEDx and TED Talks. See how they do it. See what the audience reaction is. See, they have them all over the place now. See, is there one close to you? Can you join? Can you connect? What can you do? So there are many ways that you can reach your goal just by being open, okay? Just by remembering your why. Like, why do you want to do this? If you want to be a speaker, that's one way. There's another group, Toastmasters. You can learn how to speak in front of a group. If you're shy, if you're, you need some experience, that's an amazing group for you to learn how to do that. And so the thing is, your why, again, is personal. You need to know what your why is, because it could be, particularly when it comes to writing, that it fills your heart. When you write, it clears your mind, that you're like transported to a whole nother space. It could be that you want to honor your family's legacy. I've had several clients who've written a book that honors the legacy of their family, whether through the art that's in the book, through the story, or through just being able to accomplish this goal. Like, nobody has ever written about the family. So this is their way of sharing that history to the generations to come. And so, again, other things is going to get caught up. And I keep repeating this because it's life. No matter what you're trying to accomplish, life is going to get in the way. It's just like the world was not ready for a pandemic, and it came out of nowhere, y'all. It was just like, wait, and the whole world shut down. Nobody was ready for that. And 2.5 going on 3 years later, it's still like, we're still in another iteration of it, And it's just like, we're going into flu season and all this other stuff and more variants and more boosters and all. But it's like, you got to keep going. It's like there's always going to be something. Who knows? We weren't here for all the other plagues and other diseases that happened in times past, and people still moved on because we're here. If they didn't move on, we would not be here. So we have to keep going, because those goals are going to stay, with you until you meet them, And then number 4 is don't overthink. everything you're doing, okay? Don't overthink everything. That is what ends up becoming some kind of perfectionism, paralysis of analysis of the paralysis, or paralysis analysis, whatever that thing is. It's like you think about it so much, like, wait, but what about this? And what about, and what, but how about, what about, until you don't do anything. You overthink it, you think about it, you say, you think about 5 million scenarios in your head until you don't accomplish anything. So the thing is, make a decision. Make a decision. What are you going to do? You're going to write, okay, you have 15 ideas about your book. Okay, let's put them down on paper. Let's look at them. Okay, what story do you have the most to say about? What's the one that comes easiest to you? What's the one everybody, you tell everybody? What's that story? What's the one that everyone knows you by? Is it like the woman with the issue of blood? Are you known by a certain thing? It's like, oh my God, you have to tell that story. You have to. Oh my God, like, do you have one of those stories? That might be the one. Or they may be a totally different story, but you need to know, and so don't, at least start. Get it on paper. Get started. If it sucks, we'll tell you. Be like, maybe it's the other story, And so that's the thing. It's like you have to be comfortable getting feedback, but also just trying. Just get out there. Just get started, because if that doesn't work, like I said, try again. The idea is to commit to getting to the goal. You have to move forward. Like, in order to strengthen your body, lose weight, you have to change some things. You have to go to the gym. You have to lift some weights, in your house. You got to pull on those stretchy things that, strengthen your arms and all that stuff. You can't just watch other people do it. You can't just watch TikTok videos of, say, Tracy Ellis Ross doing it. It's like, it's not going to work if you don't do it. So you have to be committed. So that was number 4. Don't overthink every right thing to do, because there could be multiple ways, multiple right things to do, but what are the things you need to do? What do you need to do right now? Because by at least doing that one thing, then you can do the next thing. Or there may be some other things in that group of things. Okay, if you can't do this one, if you can't commit to the time to do that one right now, then let's do the other one. Okay, the thing is, keep going. All right, because we don't want you to lose momentum. We're almost there. We are in October. Okay, we are in October and we want to move forward. Okay, so at least get started. And then number 5, I was kind of alluding to it with 4, but let go of perfectionism. It's like, the thing is, it's not that we want it to be mediocre, but put it out there. It's like I tell my some of my authors all the time. It's like, when you were in school or graduate school or college or anything, it's like reading that 5th edition of a book. It means they revised it. It means they went back after it was published and they added some more things, or they changed something, or they updated something. That can happen. But at least they finished the original one and put it out there, and the students had something to work with. If they find something while they're doing, that's why they make a new edition. And that's the same for you. Not that we want, there to be errors and stuff in your work, but we want the story that you're writing to get started. That's what we're focused on. We'll get the editing and the layout, cover, and all that stuff done right. But the story, let's get moving. Okay, let's get moving. Because, you trying to come up, it's like, that's why you need a book coach. Okay, we'll throw that in here. I can help you tell the right story. I can help you go through which one of these stories it is, or what even type of story I should be writing. But you have to let go of the preconceived notion that, I have to do this perfect way. If I don't do it exactly this way, it's not going to work. And it's like, how many movies have you seen? How many stories have you seen where somebody tried to do something perfect and it just all blew up in their face? Or their family hated them because they were the perfectionists in the family. Like, if you didn't fold the clothes or iron the shirts or put the dishes away, it was just like, you made life hell. And it's like, you're not going to be perfect. No human being is perfect. So let go. We're all imperfect people trying to make life a little better for somebody else and ourselves, okay? So, but do the best you can. If you've given it your all, if you've thrown everything you had into it, then be at peace with that, because again, then you can pass it on to an editor, layout, cover, all that stuff, and we can perfect it for you as much as we can perfect it, okay? Because then it still goes out, because then it's like you have to let it go. I used to work in the drama ministry in my church, and it was like, after writing a play, after rehearsing the actors with their lines and costumes and props and stage design and all these things and music and dancers and all this stuff we had to do, lights and microphones, I had to let it go. when they went out on a stage, I was not out there with them. I was not in front of the stage like, no, wait, go back, do it again. I had to trust that I gave it my all and I put it in their hands like, carry on. It's in your hands now. It's like, and that's going to be the same when you've put your all into that book, when you've shared your heart, when you've cried writing it, that reader's going to pick up that book and cry reading it. When you've laughed out loud writing it, like, oh my God, that was funny. They're going to laugh out loud reading it. And that's what we want to do. That's what we're giving. That's getting to your goal. So that, my first book, oh boy, there's a woman who has 3 sons. The book was stories about my son growing up. And she told me sitting in her bed reading the stories at night, her husband's like, she just cracking up laughing. And she was just like, they were just so funny. And I'm glad because they were funny to me. They weren't funny when I lived them, but they were definitely funny writing. And as I went back and edited, they were even funnier. So what was funny, to me was also funny to her because mothers of boys, we experience certain things that if you only have girls, you don't. I have a boy and a girl. So it's just like, different, and that's the thing that we want to keep going, because the goal is just up ahead. So I'm Valerie McDowell. We have been here talking tonight about don't run out of steam. You're almost there. And we've hit 5 points tonight, and they were get started. Number 1. Number 2, allow yourself to feel uncomfortable. Number 3, remembering your why. Number 4, don't overthink every right thing to do. And number 5, letting go of perfection. Because the thing is, we have to get moving. It is October. We're almost at the end of the year. We want to be able to check off to say we did at least get started, if not finished, with that book. And again, I want to invite you, if you are available this Sunday, and you can make yourself available. It's brunch. It's amazing brunch, but we're doing a righteous brunch. I'm going to be talking about some of these things, how to get started, how to get your book started, how to get going. How can I get going before the end of the year? How do I get these ideas out of my head? How? I'm going to talk with you. I'm going to sit down with you and we're going to break bread. And it's some slap biscuits, y'all, in fact, but we're going to break bread and we're going to have this conversation. So I'm going to put the link down below if you want to join. We've got a few spots left. Meet me Sunday noon at the Fortress. It's an amazing place. It's near National Harbor for those of you in the DMV, and I will see you there. Good night.